man, y'all already know what it is. I am always, always grateful and glad to be up here. My name is Christopher Life Willers. In 2003, I was sentenced to 100 and story, story, man. That's it, man. I've been home now for about 6 years. This is my first Thanksgiving, where I honestly, in all this time, felt good about the holiday. I'm not one to celebrate necessarily the meaning of the holidays, but I love definitely the opportunity to be with family. This year was a unique and special occasion because I'm a first time dad at 42 after surviving 17 years in prison. If you ever catch one of my lives, you already know I'm not up here asking for tears or looking for sympathy, any of that. You know, I'm simply here to tell a story, and not just my story, right? But the story of anybody that's been impacted by incarceration. Anybody that's been impacted by incarceration. Family members, the people that are actually behind the wall, whoever it is, my goal is to be a voice. And also, I love getting up here and going live because if y'all got questions, I want to be able to answer the questions. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes when I was locked up, when my wife, you know, coming to visit me, she had questions. My mother was going through things. They didn't necessarily have support when their loved ones were incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? It was an issue at times. There was nobody that they could go to have a conversation about it. So that's one of the motivations and reasons that I get up here every single day to the best of my ability and I have this conversation. It's not just about prison. We speak about mental health, addiction, entrepreneurship, life, marriage. We speak about it all, man. We could everything. What do you want to talk about? You know? Also, I'm proud to be one of many that break stereotypes when it comes to people that are formerly incarcerated and when they say that people like me don't deserve second chances. Shout out to each and every one of you that's coming home from prison, checking the boxes off and exceeding and excelling past the bar that they set. There's something to be said when you come home from prison because I know, they may not know, but I know what you survived in order to just be here. And if anybody's like, man, I still feel like I'm beat up, you on the right track. If you here right now, and it's not about this live, but if you tune into conversations like this means your mindset is moving the right direction. Just keep going that way. You are good. So many times people get up here and they try to pass it off like people that go to prison can't come home and be successful. They try to pass it off that people that come home from prison have to continue to live a certain and specific way. And ultimately, in the back of their mind, they think that everybody's going right back. What's going on? I see you, man. Peace to everybody, man. Peace, peace, peace. I'm fired up, man. I'm motivated, man. Y'all thought I was motivated before. I got a son now. It's different. It's different. I'm dedicating the rest of the run. However long God give me breath in these lungs, I'm dedicating to just to be in support of the people, man. Do my part to make planet Earth a little bit better. Oh, it's impossible. It's going that well. I'm going to try. I'm going to be one of the ones that's going to try to make sure tomorrow's better for my son. Tomorrow's better for y'all kids. Tomorrow, whatever I can do as a mentor, as an advocate, as a public speaker, as somebody that's going to continue to have these conversations. I see you, significant. Been out 2 years. Salute to you, man. Salute to you, man. I can't even see. You might be I can't see it. I apologize. I can't see that far. That's why I got the big glasses on, but salute to you. You understand what I'm saying? If you've been home for 6 months straight, if you've been home for 12 months straight, 2 years, 10 years, if you work at Walmart, Amazon, if you got your own business, I don't care. As long as you here. As long as when you came home, you stayed on this side of things. And here's the thing. Hopefully, ain't nobody throwing stones back at prison. We going into 2026. You understand me? Laws is changing. There's a whole lot of things going on. We ain't gotta absorb ourselves with the news and all that. Because anxiety be through the roof. But I just need y'all to know this is not the year and any year after for us to be going behind them walls, man. Never mind what the numbers say. Never mind what they continuously and constantly trying to say. We go back. We not going back. We going forward. And we going to accomplish the goals that we sat and we daydreamed about inside the penitentiary. And I want to say this really, really quickly before I get into the topic of the day, right? And I appreciate everybody making sure, share the live, let everybody know what's going on, man. Especially if you know somebody that's been impacted by incarceration. You got somebody just came home, man. I appreciate everybody aging, liking all that stuff, man. Um, and what I want to say is, man, you understand what I'm saying? I see you, Spiffy. I appreciate that. I'm glad you made it out, man. A lot of us exercise high levels of discipline behind the wall. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us exercise high levels of discipline behind the wall. But when we come home, some of us forget that we got to still put forward that high level of discipline in order to be successful. See, in order for us to make it home, we had to program. We did certain things in there. We woke up every morning. We worked out. We did whatever it was. We went to school. Whatever it was, we got to keep that same fire when you go home. But the thing is, now you can apply it in a different way. Got me banging my face off the mic. Amped up. Utilize my encouragement before we get into this topic, man, is utilize the discipline that you have behind the wall. If you one of the brothers and sisters like, I'm in a rut right now. I want you to think about how you survived, how you made it through every single day inside those walls that you didn't think you was going to do before. You was trying to get this job. You made sure you networked. You went over there. You wanted to hustle. You wanted whatever it was. I need you to apply that same type of energy and effort now out here. And if you're not good at something, bro, I ain't good at nothing. I ain't got no skills. So it don't matter. Pick something that you pick what you want to do and start doing that every day. Well, I got to work at the warehouse 12 hours out of the day. Well, you better stay up 13. You better commit another hour to what you got going on, your dream, because a lot of us get stuck right when we go home where we land, and we ain't got to do that either. I want to answer a few questions really quick. Somebody said, do you use any organizations to help prepare for parole? I mean, I don't necessarily use organizations like directly. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are definitely organizations that help people prepare. I don't know any off top. I just know that I reach out to any organizations, period, in the criminal justice arena, people that are focused on giving people second chances, and I ask them for letters of reference. If you got parole, you need all the letters of support, letters of rep. We need all that. So I would say reach out for all, but I honestly, I don't know any off top. You know what I'm saying? Caden, happy birthday, Caden, man. Log, I see you, man. Definitely got to shout out the happy birthday, man. That's what they call me, man. Somebody, hold on now. You're tripping. But I want to tell you a quick story because it was in this season right here that I often would thrive the most. In prison, you have never heard me tell a story where I was like, oh, I jumped off the top tier. No. But you will hear me tell a story every now and then about how I hustled behind the wall, because I ain't had nobody when I was behind the wall for the first 10 years, maybe 9 years, something like that, outside of my mama. You know what I'm saying? And mama ain't had it all. And I ain't gonna keep, as a grown man, I wasn't gonna keep asking my mama for commissary money. So, and before y'all, oh, he was in there. No. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't always an angel in there. It's penitentiary. But this one particular hustle that I'm talking about is the coffee hustle. Keefe. The yellow bag. I make the post about it. Somebody said I'm the Keefe King. You understand what I'm saying? And basically what I would do is I would get a bag of coffee, bag of Keefe, that yellow bag, and I would bag up soup shots. What's that? Well, I would go to the booth and I would ask for plastic gloves, or I would pay one of the kitchen workers to get me some plastic gloves. The ones that the line servers would use. You wouldn't want the rubber latex ones. You just wanted the clear plastic gloves. And I would always have a spoon, a spork, etc., something that I could utilize in order to scoop coffee out of. But what I would do is, in each spoon of the glove, I would put one spoon of coffee in there. Out of a bag of Keefe, what I want to tell you is, and I can't remember the exact price, it's been a minute. Nobody remembers the exact price of Keefe coffee, please put it up there. But it was around $3, give or take. But what would happen is, I could get 55 spoons of coffee out of that bag. And I sold each one for a soup. 3 soups was $1. So 55 divided by 3 is what? Like 11. That's 33, 12, 36. It's 20. I can't do math. We somewhere in the ball game whatever. 17. 17, I think. 54. Boom. So I'll make about $17 worth of commissary off of a $3 bag of Keefy. I appreciate everybody putting it up there. Y'all know too. Y'all on it. And I would continuously and consistently do that because there was always one or two guys that couldn't pay me the soups up front. So I would tell them, don't worry about it. And I would let them run a tab up. And then I would have them order me bags of Keefy back. And it was vicious in prison because the same guys that would give me the bag, they would then be out of coffee immediately and they would be buying shots of coffee back off me. Now, this was just prison. And I didn't want to do stuff that could have got me in trouble. And this wasn't going to get me in trouble. Okay? Like selling coffee, COs aren't worried. They're not worried about that. Really. You had guys in there that made lollipops, which was crazy to me. You would never see me. Yeah, I repeat, there's no footage. There's no camera in there. Y'all can pull up 20 years from now talking about seeing me in there eating a lollipop. Them guys used to be in there eating them lollipops. But I would buy the candies. Guys would make like Jolly Ranchers and Now and Laters and break them down into different things. You understand what I'm saying? Arul said he was in the commissary 5 years. I know you got all the food. You need to tell the commissary chronicles, man. You understand what I'm saying? I know you had all the food hook up. If I worked in commissary, I tried. I was close. They knew I was going up in there. I was going to get all the commissary. I'm coming up out of there. But that was one of my hustles, man, selling coffee. And it was actually one of the ways that I was able to open up a store box. I remember one time I didn't have nothing. Like I got sent to the hole for almost 2 years. I was in the hole for so long. They shipped me from the hole on Haynesville Correctional Center back to the hole on Sussex 2. I had already been on Sussex 2. So when I got up there, the officers that were mad that I made it off that rock, when they seen me come back, they drugged me. That prison's closed, by the way. But when I was in the hole for good. You understand what I'm saying? Like I was just there. And when I think about it, and I look back at every single thing, right? Every single thing, every single part of that moment, every single part of that journey, I remember when I got put in that hole, right? And the officer's like, we're not letting you out. I had lost 55 pounds back there. 55 pounds. I don't know if y'all know what I look like 55 pounds lighter. It's not a good look. I was down to like 170. I looked crazy. But I was in the hole. Right? I was wilding out a little bit. I had made it off Sussex 2, which was a level 4 yard. They transferred me to a level 2, and I should have chilled out. I should have been more concerned with my safety, and let's stay on a level 2 yard. You know what level 4, you done seen too many. I watched people not make it off there, got to a level 2 and was wilding. I had a chip on my shoulder too. See, now I'm thinking about some things. But the chip on my shoulder, when I made it to a level 2 from a level 4, a lot of them guys had never been to a level 4. So I was young too. So I was always, I just came from Sussex. Everybody don't care about that. Just like in the streets. I seen two dudes get to arguing. One of them was talking about, man, I've been to prison. The other guy said, I don't care about none of that. I ain't never been to prison. What? I got up out of there, by the way. I ain't see what. Don't ask me, well, what happened? I don't know, because I got up out there. That's all I could hear as I was leaving message and got up out there. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Chase, and said he been out 10 years and just realized it, man. What's up, man? That's what's up. 20 years for King Cali, man. That's major, man. How long y'all been home, man? But I remember I had this chip on my shoulder. I would tell these dudes, and I think a part of me still didn't get it. Like in my mind, I would like to tell y'all that one day in lockup was enough for me. And I think I've actually said that out loud on some recording. But as I'm reflecting, that mindset that I had on a level 2 when I was still in my 20s, I wasn't ready yet. I didn't get it because I still had that chip on my shoulder. I was still angry too. But I didn't get in trouble on the level 2 for getting into something physically. It wasn't even that. I was hustling with a brother. He was from New York. This was a different type of hustle then, but we uh we were getting stuff in, right? And we were able to we had a little system in play, and you had to on Haynesville because there was no camouflage. What do I mean by that? Nobody was making a move up there. And anybody that did, it was really easy to identify where what was coming from. I don't know if you ever been to a prison where nothing was going on, and some people in other states, they probably like, what? Possible, every prison. No, I done been to some prisons. Commonwealth of Virginia, they done figured out some things. I ain't gonna say they all sweet. You got some prisons off the chain, but they got some prisons, they done figured it out. Whatever it is that staff done did at ward, and nobody was making moves, but we are. And that's when, boom, the pressure came. I remember telling my man, I was like, yo, we good. And this was after he told me he wanted to bring somebody else in on the move we was making. And I was like, no, we good. Like, it's not broke. We not trying to fix nothing. And what it was like most people, they want their mans to eat too. And he had just got transferred up there, whatever. And I remember I told him, I was like, nah, like 4 or 5 times. Finally, like the 6th time, I was like, man, whatever, man. Go ahead. And what happened was we ended up getting in trouble. One day, it was right after the holiday. It was like Labor Day, after Labor Day weekend. And we went out on the yard. We did something we shouldn't have did. It was cool, somewhat. No biggie. We get through the weekend. I think Monday was a holiday still. Tuesday morning comes at the weirdest time, like at 8:30. They call us for a urinalysis. And they don't never call for those at that time. And they only call me and my mans. They call me, and we looking at each other like, immediately I already knew because they didn't call his people that he brought in on the move with us. I already knew what was up. Oh, and did I mention he wasn't even in the block when they called us? See, prison is a crazy place, man. It's like the streets. There's no honor amongst thieves, and you can't trust nobody because they might be loyal to you in the moment, but if something goes left outside of this, there's no guarantee they're going to continue their loyalty with you. And what happened was his homeboy that he brought in on the move with us got in trouble for some other stuff. And what he did, his response to him getting in trouble was he told him everything. And he was making stuff up and he was doing all types of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, man. But in that moment, as we sat there and we submitted, to the screen and all that, we already knew it was over with. They took us immediately to solitary confinement. We are in the hole now. You know what I'm saying? I remember talking to him until they moved him to the other side of the hole because we was kind of arguing through I was like, man, now here's the crazy part. They let me out the hole. They shipped my people, though. But they let me out the hole 55 days later. Somewhere around there. Carolina, I see you. And when they let me out the hole, they moved me back in the same block I was in and put me in the bed underneath his homeboy, which I knew I couldn't prove, but I knew he had put something out on us. This was a wild moment in my bid, and I would get tested another way, probably in a worse way, you understand me, than this, once I got sent back to Sussex too. But meanwhile, and I'm thinking to myself, yo, I need to snatch this dude off this top bunk. They done moved me up underneath. Like, what is going on right now? Like, they tripping. And listen, they got him out of there like 3 days later. And immediately when they came to pick his stuff up, pack his stuff up, they packed me up immediately, put me back in the hole. And at that point, they told me, you're going back to Sussex too. Your points are up now. You go back to level 4. I don't know what happened to him. We didn't get in it. Well, I didn't get in any more trouble because outside of that, though he tried to fabricate some things, make some stuff up, but thank God they didn't believe that. But, I'm on my way to Sussex 2. Now I'm back on Sussex 2, level 4 yard. Right? And that was a crazy test because that could have went left. And a lot of people say, well, you should have did something to him if you knew. Well, I didn't know all the way. I didn't have proof. I didn't have visual proof. It was more of a thought. Like I couldn't figure out how else we could have. It wasn't clicking. And that was part of the reason I got to argue with my man because he was trying to defend his people. He's like, nah, ain't no way. You can't say that. And I'm like, well, everything was cool until you brought him in. So, boom. Now I'm back on a level 4 yard, Sussex 2. And this is how I realized, y'all, like, I should never say out loud again, if I spent one day, I would have been good behind the wall. That's not true. Because I remember when I got to Sussex 2, I was like, I don't want to use the word excited, but I'm still young. And I'm like, amped up. Like, I'm like, yeah. I put my name, write my name, put it in the window at a hole because the window of the hole overlooks the boulevard. Right? People see me. I tell the house worker that was working in the hole, yo, tell my people life back. Call me life behind the wall. Now when people tell them, now they shouting up at the window. I'm all the way up there. Hey, bro, you back? What's good? What pod you going? I don't know. I don't know when they're going to let me out because the officers that did not like me when I returned back there, they drugged me. While I was in solitary confinement, they would tell me things like, don't eat that tray. We done did something to it. They would do that for days until their shift was gone. And they would work 3 or 4 day shifts. And psychologically, that's crazy. So I ended up, literally, when they was on those shifts, I would eat like just the fruit off the trays. Fruit, water, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I see that. See, one of the COs said they watch my stuff to get better. That's what's up, man. They need to bring me in the trainings for the officers, man. There's some good officers too. People think, oh man, it's not about the job. It's about the person. You need order. You need structure. Trust me. You need that. You need the right people with compassion, people that want to see people rehabilitated. But anyways, shout out to the COs that do want to help people. I'm saying, because I know y'all outnumbered. But so I finally get put in this step down pod on Sussex 2. And when I'm there, right, I want to get out there quick. I still got connections with some of the staff. I get an inmate advisor job back. An inmate advisor job is basically that gives you the ability to defend people's cases when they catch a charge in prison. You fight their case for them in kangaroo court. And it's serious because you can lose good time. You can lose your phone privileges. You can lose your visits. All that stuff matters. And I had a reputation prior to me, leaving the first time as the inmate advisor there. I was a young dude, but I had some brain. I knew how to communicate. And I got that job, and I started to finesse my way back onto the compound. I got my way back to 2 building. 2 building was cool. Stress, I appreciate that, man. Stress managed. And I'm in 2 building. Somebody said that old time I ever give up payment for the Bears winning. The Bears gonna win today too. Side note, Bears over Eagles. I just did a post. But listen, I'm on a level 2, or I'm in building 2. Now I'm back around my people. Everything as far as being on a level 4 is good. I'm walking my time down, but I done lost good time. My release date got pushed back from August of 2019 all the way to like 2021. That's a lot of time. And I was like, I need to stay out of trouble. All right. Now I was like, okay, I want to go back down. I didn't really get it until my release date got pushed back from me getting in trouble on that level 2 yard. It wasn't really the environment, that's not a good thing. That's not good that I was adapted to being, you know what I'm saying, on a level 4 yard in prison. But that's what happens to us when we go to prison. We become very good with abnormal things. We become good. You'll hear a lot of us that have been on level 4 y'all say, I don't want to go to a dorm. I'd rather be in a cell. Think about that for a second. Think about, for anybody that's ever been locked up, if you said it or you got a loved one that's locked up when they got transferred to a dorm, how many times did you or somebody you know say, I'd rather be in a cell? I got homeboys that ran their time back up to get back in a cell from a dorm. Because all of a sudden they transferred them and they weren't ready. They tried it for 2 days and said, ain't no way. But this is what prison does. It conditions you to become used to the abnormal stuff, man. Very serious thing. That's why a lot of us, when we come home, we continue on with that thought. I'd rather be in a cell. Yeah, people will get so. Never fails. Everybody that come home have that moment, whether they want to admit it out loud or not, where the pressure becomes so heavy, so hard, they slip up. Whether it's like programming. Man, I'd rather be back. I'll go back. Yeah. See, if you come to my live, we gonna talk. I don't know about, but we gonna talk here. We gonna talk. But we conditioned to accept. So now I'm on this level 2, right? And not level 2. I'm building 2. Everything's good. Now I want my release date to go down. Now I want to get, because now the counselor's like, look, if you stay out of trouble, you can drop it back down. How much can you? Well, you can't get these 4 months back. Because I was supposed to come home 2019 August. I didn't come home till January 2020. I lost some months, which it's very hard not to. You doing a long length of time, you're probably going to get in trouble at some point. I used to get in the wobbles and all that. I had an issue. But anyways, at this point in time, I did not want to have any issues. I just wanted my release date to get back closer so I could go home sooner. I wanted to go home 36 versus 38. And one day it's rec call. I'm on the basketball court. I'm not playing basketball because anybody that's been to prison, you know, don't play no basketball in prison unless you just want to get into something that day. That is one of the quickest ways to get into it with somebody in prison. But I was just watching the game, and more importantly, you got to go outside when you can on a level 4. I don't care if you don't feel like it. You go outside, you breathe fresh air and let that sun hit you. Because if not, you sitting in a building with air that it's all in-house. Ain't no open windows in there. Everybody's germs just circulating through the vents. So you go outside when they call rec. And the other thing is they barely call rec. Level 4 is short on staff, modified lock, blah, 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 weather, incremental, whatever. They going to come up with a reason. So you go. So this particular day, I'm out there. I'm enjoying myself. I'm watching them play ball. It's cool. I'm doing good so far. Hunter, what's good, man? I look, and what was going on was they used to have programs in the cafeteria. And you could see the cafeteria doors from anywhere on the rec yard. And when they opened the doors in the cafeteria, people started coming out from the programs. It was a program movement, which is separate from the rec movement. We're not supposed to move at the same time as any other pods on a level 4. It's controlled movement, which means they let a pod out and they lock you in a bullpen. They unlock the one in front of you, let you in that one, lock the one behind you, and they walk you through sections and segments of the boulevard and literally keep you corralled into sections of the fence. You'll only be with people that are in your pod, and if you're on a program list, y'all have already been approved. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have already been approved to be around one another. So I'm watching the people come out from the program call. And I'm like, okay, talking to my man, and I take a double look, and I'm tripping now. Because there's no way I'm seeing what I'm seeing. There's no way I'm seeing what I'm seeing, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? I look, and what do I see? I see my co-defendant. My co-defendant that testified on me that made some stuff up too and said some true stuff too, but he did it. He cooperated. And I want to be clear, when you hear me speak about this stuff, I'm telling my story. I'm not telling anybody what to do. Okay? But this is a very important part of the story because we can think that somebody our people and then find out really quick in the right circumstance and situation they not our people. You see, we homeboys until both of us facing life sentences. And if you the one that stands up, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna say you wrong, but what I'm gonna tell you is, your mans ain't gonna take that life sentence. Not gonna. The detective's gonna say, "Hey, look, if you tell me what I want to know, you can be home with your child's mother, eating dinner, holding your baby by 6 p.m. Or you can do 40 years for your man because you don't want to tell us the truth." It's basically how they're going to say it. And then they're going to bring some food in, probably. They're going to play good cop, bad cop. They're going to do their thing, whatever. Some of them don't even need to be convinced. Some of them be ready. They knew in the back of their mind. Whoever watching this, if you're thinking about going to do something tonight in the streets with somebody, or you need to know that somebody in your circle already thinking about it. I just want to be real with y'all. Somebody in your circle is already thinking about it. They already know if it go left, they tell it quick. No hesitation. Don't need no convincing. They already done read out. They got it in their head. Everything they gonna say. Okay? But anyways, I see my co-defendant. Now, what's wrong with this picture? We not supposed to be on the same compound. When you on the same case or whatever, more than likely, not always, but more than likely, somebody gonna put somebody on their enemy list, and he just did that. He did that. So somebody in DOC done messed up because I'm on this man's enemy list. The counselors notified me. They weren't supposed to. She told me. She did it on accident. She was a new one. She weren't trained properly. Oh, well, I found out. But here we are on the same camp. And here's the thing. He don't see me. He don't see me, but I see him. And I remember listening to the tape. The detective sat down on the trade slot when I was in the hole. And when they pressed play, it was him. He sounded like a whole mixtape. Your favorite rapper's rapper. He was going in. And he wasn't the only one, by the way. But he was the one that was there with me. And they began to walk. Come down the boulevard. They bust the left. And now the gate to the basketball court is here. I don't even know if that makes sense. The gate is here for us to walk out. But I'm blended in with the crowd. I'm sitting back with everybody now. Kind of slouch like this. Because I don't want him to know I'm here. I got to have him. And this ain't no fair nothing in prison. No. No. All that honorable. No. I don't know. In prison, don't go. Stay free, but it's not. There's no fair ones in prison. Like nobody, hey, let's go. Me and you. Maybe sometimes, I guess. I don't know. But anyways. Now, I'm already knowing I can't get to him, though, because it's controlled movement. We locked into the basketball courts, just like the other pods are locked into their sections of the yard. But I know once they're done with rec or program movement and all them guys get in the building, they supposed to let us off. And we'll be on the boulevard and go back to our dorms. Rec will be blah, blah. A new CO is working the boulevard and makes a horrible mistake. As soon as the program walked past us, all them guys, and he still didn't see me, he talking to his people, the CO, because it's getting ready to be count time, instead of him waiting for them guys to get in the building, they unlocked the gate to the basketball court, and my eyes got big. My eyes got big, just like I knew. I was like, I didn't say nothing to nobody. I was with my homeboys too, but it was really one of them things like it wasn't nothing to talk about. And when that gate opened, I had him because he didn't see me. I was behind him. I came out smooth. I'm talking about, and he was probably about, I don't know, 8 paces in front of me. But I don't know. It wasn't far. I didn't wait for him to get too far. And there was a lot of people on the boulevard. And what I want to tell you is it was going to be over for him. Because a great carpenter always keeps his tools with him. You understand what I'm saying? A mechanic keeps his tools with him. Right? And in prison, you consider me, however, a mechanic, a carpenter. I kept my tools with me. You understand me? And I was ready to fix the problem that I seen as a problem. And when I walked them down, grabbed his shoulder, spun him. Wanted him to see me. Wanted him to see me. That part I did want. And when he spun around, his eyes was big too. And you could see it. And the color, you ever see the color just like leaves? And nothing, I want to tell you immediately, nothing happened. Because when I seen him, when I seen that fear and anxiety, whatever it is that was in him, like I knew I had the upper hand, that was enough for me because obviously there was still a part of me that wanted to go home. As much as I was angry, as much as I was like, yo, I can't believe I seen this dude, as much as quote unquote prison protocol, street protocol would call me to take it and handle it a different way, I let the righteousness prevail in that moment, man. And here's the thing about being a man in prison. I don't care, just like now, just like then. There was a point when I knew I had, you make the decisions for you, for your life. I don't care what other people think. Because if you with me, you going to support the great decisions that I made. And the decision I made that day was, don't do it. But I let him know I could have had him. Now, yo, you know he was going to get you, right? Like, you should have. Nah. He thanked me. He asked for forgiveness immediately. Immediately, because people kept walking. He was like, bro, he was shaking. And this was some years into our bid. Now, if it would have been more fresher early on, I don't know if it goes down like this. And I'm glad it didn't. But what I want to tell you is that was a test for me, man. Because if I didn't, you understand what I'm saying? If I didn't pass that test, somebody said state or fed state. If I didn't pass that test, there's no guarantee I would have went home. There's no guarantee that I'd be able to be on this live right now. There's no guarantee that I would be able to be a father. One move I feel like can alter your timeline or whatever. And we all believe in different things, I'm sure. There's somebody that believes this and that and this, and I'm not here. I rock with all y'all. If y'all support me, I support y'all, man. I just want to see everybody keep going forward. But the way I look at it is one little move and it alters the course. That would have been a major move. I actually told some of my homeboys, I was like, yo, and they never once, some of the same homeboys, by the way, that when I just did my 5-year vow renewal, my wife was standing on my side out here free. Them same homeboys say you did right. Yeah, you could have got them, and then what? See, them the type of homeboys you want. Even in prison, I had them. I had a couple that man. And if don't nobody like what you did, bruh, we got your back. Now, here's the crazy part. I had so much compassion in my heart to do, man. I was working in laundry. He was messed up. I could tell he ain't had no commissary. Skinny as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? Hygiene game was messed up. You could tell. Shoes on his feet. They don't give you but much in prison. Had holes in them. You know? You could tell in prison when somebody's indigent doing really bad. And I'm working in laundry. I got like the highest paid job on the compound. I'm hustling. I got the parlay. I got all types of stuff going on. I got 15 lotions. No Diddy. Got all the soaps, all the everything. Got jeans and shoes. I got fresh white. I got stuff very abnormal the way I was living in it. Not bragging. I used to actually value stuff like that in prison. It was crazy. But I remember telling them, I was like, bro, I'm gonna get you moved. I'm gonna get you a job. And they're gonna get you moved down here to 2 building. He was like, I remember he's like, yo, is this a setup? I was like, nah, you good. You good, bro. I said, I'm gonna get you moved in a block with me. Bro, that was crazy. But I do believe that that's part of the reason I'm blessed. Like, I do believe that that's the reason, part of the reason, man, because, yo, I immediately forgave that man. And then I seen he was messed up, and I remember when we was cool. And then I remember when we caught this case, like, yo, he had a baby, newborn. He was scared. That's not a reason to justify what he did. I'm not here to have that part of the conversation, but I exercised some empathy, man. I thought about the situation if I had a newborn baby and a girl and we sitting in their interrogation or whatever. I didn't have that. He had different types of pressure. I'm not telling you again he should have folded or went this way or that. I'm just telling you that's what I leaned on. Looking at him not doing good in there, that's what I leaned on, and that's where I was able to provide compassion. I got him a job in laundry. Good job. Made sure his box was straight. Made sure he had shoes with no holes in them. Made sure ain't nobody touch him in there. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people, some people be like, bro. You know what I'm saying? You was soft. That's cool. I'm free, though. Because, again, the alternative was I would have did what I did, and then I would have got an extra 10 years. Well, the decision I made is what put me in prison. He might have contributed to it, but ultimately it was my decision that I made that put me in there in the first place. And if I didn't make the decision I made to get in that car that night, he wouldn't have had nothing to tell them people, man. So even the outside of that, I still held myself accountable past the point of his actions. He wouldn't have been able to do what he did if I didn't do what I did. And sometimes you got to break it all the way down. All the way down. Sometimes you got to break it all the way down, step by step. And that's what I ended up on. I prayed about it. I broke it down in my head. And I said, well, at the end of the day, he wouldn't have been able to get me if I ain't do this. So I'm free now. And he's not. That's the other part of it. They were doing stuff, separate stuff, whatever. I don't even know. They got time in different states. I had compassion in my heart, man. You better have compassion in your heart if you expect to be blessed. It confuses me when people be bitter, angry, resentful for all this, talking about, and then talking about, I want to be blessed. Why I don't have no life like this? Well, you'll get tested. So that was a test. I look back, I done had tests when I came home. But those tests, serious. Holiday season, man. Time in VA, y'all. Before I get up off it, I want to talk about this holiday season real quick. I talked a little bit about it yesterday. I'm up here live every day. I'm going to pick a time and start going at a specific time. I think that'll work. If y'all know a specific time, we got a recommendation for a specific time that I should stream every day, meet up at, put that in the comments. They can all suggest. But I was speaking yesterday about when the holiday season officially starts in prison. And when that is, right, it's typically, I was not at Augusta. I'm going to tell you really quick where I was at. Haynesville Correctional Center receiving, Sussex 2, back to Haynesville Correctional Center, back to Sussex 2, Greensville Correctional Center, St. Bride's Correctional Center, Haynesville Camp 17. Those were all the camps I was on. Prisons. But the holiday season starts the week of Thanksgiving. Typically, that Wednesday is a half day or whatever for staff outside of the security, like COs and stuff. And it starts to feel like a holiday in the building, whether you locked up on a level 4 or not, because you'll see less people in the building. You know. And then the holiday trade come and all that. Then they got visits all weekend. Good stuff, better stuff on some prisons, not all. But it's also the moment or time of the season where the most things pop off. It's the time of the season where the stress level is the highest. It's the time of the season where anxieties are elevated. Time of the season where people get into it because everybody want to use the phone. It's the time of the season where everybody frustrated because visits are short because everybody want to come. That time of season where ain't no outside rec because all the COs is on vacation, modified lock, here we come. It's a lot going on during the holiday season. Thank you, Void. I appreciate that. Void. But there's a lot going on. And I just want to tell anybody who's got a loved one locked up, give your people a little grace, because very stressful on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? It's a minefield, essentially, that you're trying to navigate when you're in prison. And during the holiday season, they're elevated. The holiday season doesn't end until after New Year's. After New Year's, it starts to kind of, I don't know. And the other thing is, it's the seasons as well. Because it's winter, it's darker earlier. If you do go outside, it's cold, damp, whatever. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So send them an email or something, man. Pop up surprise visit somebody. If you got somebody behind the wall. It's the little things. Send them an old school letter if you can. I don't know. Send them some pictures, anything. You know, but please understand that the holidays behind the wall, and I'm not saying people out here got it easy either. But what I'm telling you, it's that part of the season. You see certain guys in this season behind the wall, they don't make it. What they feel is too much. They miss their family. Some guys have been away from the streets for so long, 20, 30 years. All their family that they knew is gone. Everything that they knew. They don't have friends. They don't have nobody. They can't even get on the wall phone to call somebody for Christmas. They ain't going to get no email. There's people in there that ain't got nobody. And even for the people that do have somebody, the dads that really want to be in their kids' life is frustrated out the world. Right? Then you got guys arguing with they ladies, and you know, a lot going on, man. Different perspectives, man. Different lenses, and I ask and I encourage everybody takes the time to look at what they going through. 19K, I see you, man. Little brother gets out next year. Any advice that you can give him? Hey, listen, if you got a loved one coming home from prison, well, say it like I always do. Mental health support. Mental health support. Mental health support. Find some support groups for them, online, whatever. Your people can have every opportunity given to them. Your people can have the best job waiting for them. Your people can have a wife and a house. I had that. I had a wife and a mortgage waiting for me. I got married in a visitation room. She out there in the living room. We just celebrated 6 years, just had a son November 3rd. Right? But when I first came home, none of that meant nothing because my mental health weren't right. I had a lot of opportunities the brothers didn't have, when they come home from prison. That's why I'm super empathetic and sympathetic to my brothers and sisters, because I know I had an easier path when I came home. I had a different type of support. You will never hear me get up here and say, oh, I was sleeping in the streets. Nah, I wasn't. I was dealing with the pandemic and PTSD, high level. But what that taught me is, man, mental health support is the most important thing that an individual knows or sees. Somebody said, what if they aren't willing to admit that they should see a mental health provider, though? You get them connected to people like me. I trick them. So outside of this stuff, I'm a certified peer specialist in mental health, certified by the state. What that means is I can professionally and through certification. I got an MPI number, all that stuff. I work with people. I mentor people because I've got a shared lens with. I'm also a forensic peer mentor, which allows me to go into the prisons and jails anywhere, certified through the state. So I would get them connected to certified peer specialists. I mentor people all over the country. I got programs, all that stuff. We're going to get into a lot of that on my lives. But you don't always got to get them with the therapist. You can, hey, bro, I want you to holler at bro. He been locked up for 20 years. He home now. He want to holler at you. That's my approach. When families reach out to me and they trying to get on my caseload, that's what I tell. Hey, tell bro I'm trying to holler at him. I don't do it. We going to be super professional, but I'm going to camouflage it well with good intention. I'm not trying to trick your loved one, trick you, no. But I'm not trying to come in there with big terms and say we need to work on it. No, I'm trying to show you that I'm you, bro. These tattoos I got behind the wall just like you did. And they may not understand you, but I do. And that's generally how it starts. And there's other things. There's support groups. There's NAA. There's a bunch of different options. Like I said, they started Joshua, good stuff, man. Michael, that's what's up. But I recommend, honestly, looking at different reasons that you can get people help. Or how, excuse me, that you different now. I had one guy that started using, I'm not saying it, but he started using one of those AI apps and talking to that. And it kind of bugged me out, right? But in some weird way, it was helping him process his thoughts. He didn't want to talk to anybody, but he literally thought, and we use it as an exercise. And it says bugged me out because I offer it, but we use it as like literally an exercise, like a self-talk exercise. And all we did, it just so you could speak to it. And he said, I feel really bad today. And the thing says back to him, well, tell me more about why you feel bad. And I would probably feel dumb too. I'm just that type of mentor. We talking trash, right? Listen, I wasn't trying to, but and you had to be in the moment. But we started laughing. I was like, just try it. And he started trying it, and he was getting back thoughts that he normally wouldn't share out loud, and he wasn't even ready to share with a person yet, a human being. But sometimes it's just that. I don't want to sit with a stranger. But he knew that this thing wasn't real, quote unquote. It's just a software to speak to it, get responses. What it did was it kind of warmed him up to the thought that he could go, you know what I'm saying? I see you, Carolina, that he could go and get some therapy. Oh, somebody said I'm echoing.